Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. Now this is going to be a quick and easy demonstration for you guys. I'm actually jumping straight into one of the cheap 900 missions, 900,000 ISK missions. As you can see, here's it. Now let me just jump out as fast as possible so that I don't lose any efficiency. And this is my fourth one for the hour. Now I started off at just near 700,000, so everything else has been just off 3 missions. This will be the fourth, so you can see that there is quite a good gain from these missions. Actually no, wait, I make a mistake. This is my third for this particular session. I always look for the loot immediately. It's one way to keep this here super efficient, and it also keeps you from losing too much of ground against any of the enemy vessels in this fight. Now I'm lucky enough to have caught the biggest ship right in the start. Without it around, my requirement on my shield and capacitor go down by quite a bit. I have a way of regulating it so that I don't lose too much of cap. I activate it the moment I hit 90%, and then I will wait for my cap and shield booster to actually help me with the next run of damage. So if I can take out this big ship before that period, it does make a big difference to my combat. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, I'm keeping it just around stable. I'm not gaining more shield than I'm losing. Actually, I am gaining more. I've pulled myself back up by quite a bit. But if I manage to get rid of this ship and manage to kick in the next run of repairs. Okay, yeah, there we go. And I have this quick and easy loot. Poor loot for that one, unfortunately. And there is also profit, by the way, from this entire mission. All of the scrap that you will get within a 2-hour period equals to about 260,000 titanium, plus the other resources that come from scrapping gear. So that's about the estimate that you can get in 2 hours of playing this. There's going to be about 4 missions completions in that 2 hours of play. If you are slightly slower, if you end up with slightly longer travel times than a single jump between each of your missions, then you might end up with a slightly lower completion rate than me. It's not guaranteed that you will have this very fast completion or this very efficient way of play. Now, if I was following this perfectly, I would have locked onto the Blackbird second and knocked it out, or knock out the Blackbird first and then knock out the big ship. But that is just because the E-War is interfering with my cap, and it's also interfering with my ability to do excess damage. So if I had it completely trapped, it would have been far better for me from the start. I'll just jump in again with the building up of shields, although I didn't stop at the right time in the previous run. Now all of this is a very efficient way of getting it done, but there is more to this entire process. If you do this efficiently enough and you get lucky with the double or triple spawn within the sector where you are, you can end up easily doing a solid 12 to 13 million in 1 hour worth of play. And yes, that is how much of ISK can generate every hour. So if you get lucky like that for a full 4 hours, well, that reward is gonna be crazy. It's going to pull you up well beyond the figure that you are looking at. That's the maximum of 13. It'll take you just past 50 million. That's 52 million a day. That's enough for you to flex out every single week while playing the game without having to have to really worry about taking any real major losses in terms of ISK. And that is a good thing for most players, because if you're not taking a loss on your ISK and if you're not losing too much of ISK, that means you can progress in the game. It's not just playing for the sake of getting flex. Now I know that a lot of people haven't tried this, and there's a reason why a lot of people don't try this. It's very time consuming, and you need to jump on the controls and jump into the game every few minutes just to be able to do what's needed. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a heavy run. I am going to go straight after the Pithy Sea, and I'm also engaging an afterburner. Second on my list will be that. Can't be activated anyway because of the dampening being done to me. Oh no, wait, I wasn't being warp disrupted, I was being dampened. The Blackbird holds the E-War basically, so I'm taking care of that ship next, and then I will finally take out the Ferox to reduce the firepower that this wave has against me. If I can keep my shield to maximum and my cap as close as possible to unused, I win. Okay, 1 second, I didn't put these on. As you can see, my damage has decreased drastically. That's because I'm in a very close range with a lot of speed and a lot of power against the enemy ships. I'm less than 6 minutes in, I'm on the second wave, and I am almost halfway through this wave. Once the big ship goes down, you can basically say that I'm in the next wave. If I want to minimize my damage even more, I can simply choose my next target to be the Caracal. That will definitely help me a lot in terms of the battle. If you know your order of strong ships to weak ships, remember you take out anything that's going to debuff you first, and then you just obliterate everything else. Right now there is no dampening on how much of damage my missiles are doing, and that ship is totally frozen in place. He can't do anything to escape this damage. He's also the heaviest damage dealer at the moment, which is why I need to activate my shield regen at 90%. A little bit early, but I know what I'm doing. So there's it. He's taken quite a big hit. He's almost halfway down. Once he goes down completely, it's way better for me. That means I can jump to the next target, being the Caracal. Caracal just got away from the easy locking area, so yeah, that's just one of those heavy hitting issues. I don't like my cap dropping below 40. If it stays above 40, I'm pretty easily going to destroy the ships. I didn't get any drop from that one. It's one of those unfortunate events. Sometimes you don't get a drop, sometimes you get good drops, sometimes you get bad drops. So remember, those values aren't 100% guaranteed. Okay, so I haven't completed the big thing. Now with those excess resources that you're gathering, it means excess ISK for you all the time. No matter who you are in the game, excess ISK is something that you always want. I'm not really worried right now. I can even allow it to drop below the 60% mark. Not going to hurt my ship's shield at this point. They're all too close and they're all way too weak to actually break through my shield. Okay, as you can see, quick and easy. The next wave will be here shortly. Okay, so let's get into this discussion quickly so that I can get it ironed out nicely. With that extra resources that you're gaining, you can sell it to make a quick buck on ISK, but here's the catch with it. Those sales trickle and they fill up your space in the market. So day by day you could end up with a total of a lot of resources being left behind, and you can end up out of price when it comes to certain more competitive periods for the market. So say for example Tritanium was selling for 2 today and you ended up putting it on the market for 2, and tomorrow titanium increased all of a sudden, you make a loss, you don't make that full profit at the additional 2. Okay, let's go. That should be the right one to have taken out first. I hope that I am right. The reason why I didn't set the... yeah, I was right. Why I didn't set the drone on it was that would have been overkill, just to say the least. Now I am obviously going to have to engage the shield regen, and I'm going to have to engage the micro warp drive in a few seconds to gain ground on that last ship. Now as you can see, it's taking me almost 15 minutes to complete this one. It sometimes does take me less than 15 minutes. I don't know how come the variable in time is going that heavy. Okay, this is perfect. That Drake hasn't drifted too far out. This only needs 1 or 2 more volleys, and once that is done, I am going to have an easy fight with the remainder of this fleet. I could have taken out the Caracal first. That would make a massive reduction in damage to me. Yeah, I'll just lock onto the Caracal next. Doesn't hurt to have everything pre-planned for the takeout. But okay, I'm digressing from where I should be. So with that extra resources, you're going to do a build project on the side. Like I've said, you have that opportunity always. If you are building something, you need to build something that you can build up. Now for me, the most viable structure that I can think of is always going to be Capsuleer outposts. And also with that, there is going to be corporation outposts. Now obviously corporation outpost is a massive requirement. It requires a lot of ISK just for you to actually keep up with that rate. But nonetheless, it is something that you could get to if you are pushing this particular method like I am talking about. Whew. So if you start off with the cheapest structure, which is going to be the structure inside of the Capsuleer outposts, you're going to make a fair amount of profit each time you build a piece. And once you have enough pieces built, you're going to actually be able to promote yourself up slowly or surely from one strength to the next as you build more. So every 2 that you build, you can actually build a third. So when you build your first one with resources, you make all that profit, you hold it one side, and you're always holding that 60 or 80 million one side. When you finally have enough, you're going to get another 120, 200. You can always sell the little bit higher priced station pieces inside the station, hoping for a fast weekend where there's a heavy war and everything goes up in price. So you could get that 120 mark and start selling a lot of pieces. If you keep doing that and you have enough of a production line to keep up that demand, you can end up with the perfect amount of profit. And I'm not talking about a small profit. If you count it, each time you build one, you actually have enough resources to redo it the next time that the next one is there, and you have half towards the second. So by the time you complete the second one, you will be completing 2 each time you build a station, and your cost will be reduced by quite a bit. Oh my, why did I do that? So your cost will reduce by quite a bit each time due to the resource gains that you are making of just building those station pieces. And by the time you reach the heavy cost factors when it comes to taxes, you don't really have to worry all that much. A little bit of research into reducing them and you'll be 100% in the blue all the time. If you purchase at the right rates, you'll never ever have to worry about excess in terms of spend for your purchases. because you're really losing a total of 20 million to taxes in the game. It is quite a heavy figure in terms of how much you're spending, but it doesn't really impact you on the long term. You're always going to be able to make it back the next day or the day after that. And that is the good thing about playing this game. If you know what you're doing, you can do unbelievable things with something as simple as the market, and that is going to be your profit margin. Now I'm done with this here. Let me start off my quick trip to the next one. So yeah, that was a quick and easy build. And if you keep building up all those excess pieces, and let's say for example you've got your 3 that's needed for a station, you decide, you know what, I've built up enough, I'm selling enough that 3 can be built on the side. This time I won't build that excess 3. I'll allow these 3 to keep going, and I'll build. There's it, all this is covered. I can keep going. Now I'll add a structure piece to my build pieces from what I'm getting in profit. And obviously when I say another piece, I mean like a docking bay, and that is going to be your profit margins. And eventually you're going to be selling everything to make a station daily, and you're going to have everything that you need to make a station daily. And if you think that isn't big profit, after taxes are knocked off from you, from the 4.5 million that most people sell it for, you're still going to make an incredible 2 billion. And sorry, I said 4.5 million, I meant 4.5 billion. That's what stations sell for, the Capsuleer stations. You're going to make a solid 2 billion each time that it's sold. And if you keep building that up, it's going to be instant rewards for you all the time. You're going to have a full production line on the side. You're going to be making 2 billion maybe every single day. And at that point, let's say 2 or 3 months of doing this very easy play, you're going to have enough ships to actually risk taking a Nightmare and a Rattlesnake, or a Nightmare, Rattlesnake and Vindicator out into Losec and completing missions. Or you can go and take on a quick run into one of the corp areas and teach them a lesson with a Balgon, Nightmare and Rattlesnake. Obliterate the battlefield with your E-War, and obliterate the battlefield with your high firepower and your high defense. That is one of the strategies you can play. You could go even more crazy. Get 10 friends together and pull a massive battleship fleet out and go and do that, because that's the amount that you're earning. If you do the reinvest trick with the stations, you could earn a battleship every single day, because trust me, there are corps who are burning through stations that quickly. Obviously, I don't think the game has that many players in it at the moment to do it, but if it does gain another burst or surge during any one of the events, that is something you can do, and it will be a good profit margin for you as a player. So I hope that you all do enjoy. Catch you all in the next one, and I'm making my quick escape as fast as I can.